Hi everyone, welcome back to Beauty Unfiltered with Sneha. Today's video is about dark circles. I'll be teaching you how to correct those dark circles without your face looking too cakey or too grayish, and also some tips and tricks to make your concealer last. For demonstration purposes, I will be creating some dark circles under my eye to show you what and how to blend and conceal. This is the spot where we usually have the most darkness around our eyes. So I'm just going to create some right there to give you an idea on how to correct this. I'm just going to create it on both sides of my face just to show you the correct way and the wrong way. Alright. This is how usually our dark circles look. Alright, I'm just going to blend this a little bit further down. I'll be using the same concealer but different tricks to show you the correct way and the wrong way. This side is going to be the correct side, this side is going to be the wrong side. Usually, this is what we do. We take our concealer and we just create a line like this to conceal it. However, the correct way is you can use a color corrector, something like this, or if you do not have a color corrector, you can use a lipstick shade similar looking to this. Now, it is a peachish color, which is what we need to cancel out the bluish gray tones underneath our eye. I'm just going to be using the lipstick to show you how to conceal the dark circles because I know a lot of us don't actually have the color corrector. So instead, you can just use any peach lipstick and that should do it for you. All you need to do is just apply it right at the area which is the most darkest, which is usually around here. This portion is also dark, but it's never as dark as this, and once we blend this out, it's automatically going to give us the coverage that we need. So we are not going to apply our concealer just yet. What we are going to do is we're going to blend this like so. Again, I'm not taking it all the way up because we have fine lines under our eyes and I don't want to exaggerate those lines more, so I'm only going to do it right underneath where the darkest area is. Once I've done that, I'm going to let that sit. You can see I have already corrected that area. Once I've done that, I'm going to actually blend out the other side just to show you. So this is what we usually tend to do. And we also tend to blend our concealer right underneath our eyes, which is really, really wrong because this way, as you can see, I have taken it all the way till my lower lash line. And what that does is that makes the concealer set more into our fine lines, which we of course don't want. Once my color corrector is dried correctly, I'm now going to take a little bit of my same concealer that I applied on this side and I'm going to just dot it. So here and here. You do not want to blend your concealer all the way up. You only want to blend it out, downward and outward, because actually when the light hits our face, it usually hits us here and on the outer area. So that is what we are actually trying to do. So we're just going to blend this right here. You can see I'm not taking it all the way up. When we pull the concealer from the inner corner and we try to blend the concealer from the outer corner, it automatically meets midway. So you don't actually need to create that whole big line. That only will settle more into your fine lines and make your makeup look more cakey. So all we're doing is we're blending it downwards and we're blending it outward. So this way we're also getting a lifted look and we're not getting any cakiness as well. Now I'll be taking my blender and I will be just blending it all. Here you can see this eye is much more youthful. However, this looks very heavy and cakey. I'm not saying this looks bad. This also looks nice, but on an everyday basis, I'm sure you don't want to have a full face of makeup. So you can use this technique, which is just using a peach lipstick and a concealer on top of it. Once the product has already been absorbed, then you can start to blend it. Once you've actually applied your concealer, let it set for about 2 to 3 minutes. Let your concealer settle into your skin. Once it does that, you will see if there is any excess product, there would be a line like this. You can see here I have a lot of buildup of the concealer and here I have very little buildup. So what we are going to do before powdering our eyes or setting the concealer, we are going to take a Q-tip and we're going to remove any excess concealer that is settling into our fine lines. Always look straight for it before powdering your face and then you blend before you powder it. Like so. Once you've done that and there are no more creases, then you can go ahead and you can start to lightly powder your under eyes. Do not bake instantly because when you bake that, what you are doing, here, let me show you. Now here, I already have a buildup. When I actually bake it, I am making sure that this stays put in its place, which of course I don't want. So we never actually do that. Instead, we take a little bit of powder, we dab the excess on our palm and gently set our under eyes. That way, you're not caking up any powder. I'm going to zoom in to show you the difference in both the eyes. Here, you can see the creasing of the under eye, and here there is very minimal crease. You can see the difference. Much more clean and softer. However, this looks much more cakey. Of course, it's accentuating our fine lines. It is exaggerating those fine lines, and of course, it looks a lot more cakey and heavy. So that's all you need to do to conceal your dark circles. You don't need a lot of concealer. You don't need a lot of powder. You need nothing. All you need is just a tad bit of color corrector or any form of peach lipstick like I showed you, and any normal concealer. That's it. It's about the right techniques, the way to blend it, the way to set it. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my channel. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.